Part 2 of turning this absolute disaster into our dream garage. In part 1, we left off with me begrudgingly sorting through my massive pile of scrap wood. As much as it hurt me, I was able to get rid of an absolute ton of it, and I was also able to get almost everything that I saved up onto the wood rack and completely off the floor. As much as I didn't want to get rid of my wood stash, this was absolutely one of the most rewarding parts of this makeover so far. One of the things I decided to keep was this old 4-poster bed. It actually used to be my parents when they were married, and then my husband and mine when we were first married. I decided that I think I can make a really cool project out of this, so stay tuned for that in the future. We also gathered up all of the tools and put them in the empty drawers of my rolling storage desk. Tool organization is TBD, but at least now they're all in one spot. Then I turned my attention to completely clearing out all the back corner of the garage so that I can install this really cool storage system that I got. It's called the Duralift Elevate, and basically it's these elevated platforms that attach into the ceiling. I'm desperate for floor space in this garage, so this storage system was the perfect solution to my problem. The first step for installing this system was to figure out where all the studs were in the ceiling and which direction they went. I got my stud finder out, and it took me a minute, but I eventually got everything labeled clearly. The hardware that I need to hang into the ceiling are these long poles that come threaded on each end, and then they attach to these pieces that you then use these bolts to bolt into the studs on the ceiling. So the next step was to carefully measure where I needed my bolts to go and then pre-drill holes into the ceiling. After that, you just put the bolts through the two little holes on either side of the hardware and then drill them into the ceiling. This actually took a little bit of muscle because my drill is weak sauce, but that's okay with me because that lets me know that they're in there tight and I know this thing isn't going anywhere. Once you get the hardware attached to the ceiling, then you just take the poles and you screw them into the center part of the hardware. And then once you have all the poles attached, you lift up your platform and you put the other threaded end of the pole through the holes on the side of the platform. Then you just attach the little bolts to the poles on the underneath side of the platform and it holds it in place. After you get all your platforms up, then you attach the platforms to each other with more bolts, using an Allen wrench to hold the back end of the bolt while you tighten the front. And then that's it. You're all done. I love the way this looks. It blends in with the walls and the ceiling seamlessly. It's super sturdy. I really could climb up there if I wanted to, but I don't want to. And best of all, it gets all of my crap up off the floor. Here's a little movie magic for you, and doesn't it look so much better? I'm so glad I have a space to get some of this stuff out of my way so that I can get to work on the rest of the garage. Stay tuned for part 3, where I'm going to be working on building a cabinet for all my DIY supplies, and then also fixing this broken cabinet door. Make sure you hit that follow button if you don't want to miss what comes next.